Hey everybody, this is Major Mike Harris. Normally I'd be sitting here with my wife, Major Christine Harris. I think most of you know who we are, but just in case you don't, and there are a few folk out there that probably heard of us and don't know, we're what we call the Area Commanders and Senior Croc Officers. I'll explain to you actually what this major thing really means. In any other church or denomination, it would mean reverend. So my wife and I are ordained ministers, and we've been called in the Salvation Army to full-time ministry. And what that means is the Salvation Army has ownership of you, and they send you where they want to send you for as long as they want to send you there to do whatever they need us to do. And so my wife and I were sent here 3 years ago from Dallas, Texas, to become the area commanders and senior croc officers in Greenville. Now, also in our area, we have other Salvation Army officers or reverends. One is Major John Phil Winter, who for 4 years has ministered on the social services campus and ministers particularly in what we refer to as the 614 Corps. Corps again is basically means church. Also we have Captain's Park, and Captain's Park are the congregational life officers at the Croc Center. Well, they have all received what we call marching orders. They receive phone calls that said they're going somewhere new. So Major Winter is on his way to Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Captain's Park, they'll be a bit closer. They go into Kernersville, North Carolina. So we certainly will miss them. They've been wonderful people to work alongside, and we will certainly miss them. In turn, we're receiving some new Salvation Army officers. We're receiving Captain Richard Wearmouth and Major Valentina Wearmouth and their two small children who are coming all the way from England. So yes, you've got another Englishman coming your way. Valentina, by the way, is originally Colombian, though raised in Georgia. So there's a lot going on in the realms of the Salvation Army officers. But my wife and I, we are staying put. And it's been 3 years now that we've been in town. And it's been very wonderful 3 years, a varied 3 years, a busy 3 years. There's a lot going on. But one of the great things we've experienced is working alongside all of the employees of the Salvation Army in the Greenville Area Command. I've seen some marvelous things, and a couple of attaboys I want to give go out to some of the wonderful employees, for instance, who work at the shelter. I didn't say this at the time, but when those ice storms came through, the folk at the shelter made sure that we were plowing through 24/7. They were working through those awful weather conditions, and certainly deserve a lot of credit for all that they did. Our thrift store workers, we have 3 thrift stores currently. Sadly, we're losing one, and I'm sad about that, very sad about that. It's the one in Clemson. And Colleen and her crew have done wonderfully well over the years, but because of economics, because of the fact that that store is no longer available to us, we're having to close that. So please know from our thrift store workers, we appreciate all that you do every day going in and working so very, very hard. I think of the Croc Center, guys, you've had some challenges. I mean, so I think about some of the economic challenges that you've had over the time, and we've had to do some work there, and particularly in the events department where we've seen a lot of loss of personnel, but you guys are continuing to plow through and work really, really hard on making the Croc Center a great success. Another attaboy is to our facilities team. It is a team of 3. It is not a big team, and yet they have responsibility for 16 buildings that we have, including the Croc Center, which is just a massive, massive facility. And yet their processes and their work has continued to improve, and certainly we're in a better place now when it comes to our facilities than we have been for a very, very long time. So there's some attaboys and some thank yous to folk for what you do. And then it, in my mind, certainly as I was thinking about what to say, I thought about that idea of what you do and why we do it. The Salvation Army is, I believe, called uniquely to people. It is something that goes back in our history, and hopefully as I do more of these videos I can give you a little bit of history of that, not to bore you but just to inform you on some of the things that go back in time. And but the theme of the Salvation Army really is people. We are called to people, and in the Bible Jesus talks several times about people, particularly those who are poor, and in one particular story in the book of Matthew, Jesus is talking about when we all sit before the king. And he will separate the sheep from the goats, he says. And in that whole story, he will look at some of the folk who are standing before him and saying, you rejected me. You rejected me when you rejected people. Well, what people? They said. Well, when you had someone who was hungry, did you feed them? When they were naked, did you clothe them? And Jesus is talking about the treatment of people. Remember, we're called to people, the treatment of people as equating to the treatment of Jesus himself. So let's always remember as we go through the work and the business and the calling of the Salvation Army, that people are our main concern. Friends, God bless you. Thank you for all that you do, and I look forward to seeing you around the buildings.